All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, welcome to game one of the North American Finals here in King of the Sea 13. From the north in the green, this is Bonks. Their second trip to the finals, still looking for their first crown, haven't quite gotten there yet. Up against five-time champion '07 here, promises to be a solid match. Bonks fielding a Conqueror, an Ohio, Des Moines Goliath Moskva, and four destroyers, Gearing Harugumo, Vampire 2, and a Ragnar.
Yeah, it's
Seth,
like
talk
I
to
I
me.
have to I have to kind of reset my mind for a second,
Yeah, I
because
know,
it's like
right?
we cast a different game and now we're back to watch '07 play again. And
That's
it's like
yep,
you have to make that tweak in your head mentally, right?
indeed.
So here we have Marin in the Shiki Shima, ladies and gentlemen. Awesome.
Mm.
And then we've got Kremlin, double Montana, Salem for their cruisers. And then we have a Marceau, another Marceau, and a Ragnar, because why not? And Frice in a 20-kilometer Shimakaze.
Now, Zath, we're seeing two battleships in this match that we have not yet seen today.
Hmm.
So tell me why you think that '07 has moved Marin into a Shikishima.
Um, because you want a Yamato, but you want one that fires faster. That's all I can think of. I mean, it's got what I can't remember the reload off the top of my head, but it's much quicker
I
than most other
want to say
battleships of.
it's like 26 seconds or 28, something like that.
I mean, it's fast enough to where cruisers think that they're safe and start making the turnout and then find out, you know, that they're not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's a strong ship. Every ship in this game comes down to how it's played. So, the question is '07 going to be able to make the the Shikishima work to its advantages and its strengths, as Eagle Lance
Oh,
just takes a
Eagle.
torpedo
Eagle taking
early
an
on.
early Harugumo torpedo. That's going to leave a mark.
Now that Harugumo guy's used his torpedo reload booster. Battleship Nagato doing a great job of using that trick, popping out a torpedo before Eagle Lance and anybody else was expecting that to happen. And you can see now he's trying to move away, most likely DCP, but he is detected on Vivi's
Indeed.
radar.
Vivi knows. Vivi's been told by his teammate, hey, somebody just took a torpedo. Let's see if we can beat him up some more. And so the
Yeah,
combat begins here at B.
I'm surprised to see Eagle Lance firing, because by him firing, he's almost guaranteeing that he's going to be spotted for another 20 seconds from his last shot.
Yep, for even longer as he goes now down under 5K. Really good Ragnar
Mm,
dispersion there, punishing him. He pulls the
hmm.
brakes, trying to salvage his ship.
Well, his
Still
engines are
lit.
broken too.
Still lit under 1,000 HP. More shells coming in. 59 hit points. And oh my
Oh,
goodness, Sal, is he going to get away?
I mean, they're not shooting
Yeah,
at him anymore. They're
they've
shooting at
given up.
pizza.
Well, one more salvo,
Why?
blind salvo coming in. No.
Uh,
Oh my goodness, Zath.
this is why you never declare a ship
They got him!
dead.
They got him! A
They got
total
it.
blind shot from Vivi bags an early kill, and just like that, Bonks is up a destroyer.
And I was just gonna mention that's why you don't declare a ship dead until it actually dies. Like he should have
Nope.
continued to be shot at for ages. But
Yeah.
regardless, Bonk still managed to get that kill. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Even our
Wow.
internal chat is going off the hook here, guys.
Indeed.
This is great to
Indeed.
see.
Less than 4 minutes in, and a big misplay there from '07. I'm with you, Zath. I think if Eagle doesn't fire his guns there, he can
Yeah, oh yeah.
probably sneak away. But by
Oh
opening
yeah.
fire, he increased his detection bloom for that 20 seconds, and those 20 seconds proved critical.
And you could see the moment that his teammates on voice were like, Eagle, why are you still shooting?
Yeah, dude, what are you doing? Dude, why you do this? Why you do this?
It's
Well,
like, it's okay, I've got a heal.
Bonks up a cap and a ship now for the moment in the driver's seat here on Islands of Ice. '07 playing from behind a ship. They're going to have to find a way back in here, and it's not going to be easy. Bonks has set up a Moskva right there on the edge of the B cap. They've got a Des Moines. Who is this? That's Addie's Des Moines parked directly in the A cap, and they don't
Mm.
seem to give two cahoots about the C cap, as all that's over here is who is this? Our Hulk's Conqueror and Doofy's Goliath.
Yep. Now I know the real reason that '07 brought the Shikishima.
Hmm.
And that's because of the gun sound when it fires. You
Yes,
hear
totally.
that. you know
Totally.
that hate is coming someplace, and it forces you, when you hear that sound, to just take a moment and look at the minimap and say, have I been targeted? Have I been selected?
Have you been chosen for extinction by Shikishima?
That's right,
Now,
exactly.
we talked about why '07 might have brought in Shikishima. I'm gonna give you my theory, Zath. Okay.
Go for it, please.
With Venezia on the naughty list for this match. Of course, Venezia chosen for a ban.
Hmm.
Many teams then feel more comfortable bringing the big Russian super cruisers, right? Because what does Venezia eat better than anything else? She eats Stalingrad and Moskva for breakfast. Okay,
And
you pull
destroyers.
and destroy, yes, and destroyers. So you pull Venezia out of the lineup. Now Moskva, Stalingrad can become more useful. They feel a little more comfortable, a little safer. All right, but with the
Mhm.
Shikishima prowling around, no cruiser feels safe, right? Every
That's right.
cruiser in the game can get slapped by that guy. And so I think that's kind of their pick to say, we took Venezia away from you, bring out your Moskvas. Oh, by the way, meet 20-inch guns.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
these things are pretty accurate. They do a ton of damage when they hit.
indeed.
So we'll see that. Ah, there's the sound.
Now we
As
talked. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, as he's shooting at Drixus right now, I know he wants to get onto Addy, get shots on Addy, but for now, he's gonna have to settle for shots on Drixus as Ohio.
Now you and I had talked in previous days and during the last King of the Sea
Hmm.
about Conqueror, because by the end of the last King of the Sea, Conqueror was seeing something of a resurgence in the battleship choices among some of the high end teams. Conqueror, not really known, right, for her certainly not for her survivability or even her firepower necessarily outside of the HE spam.
Yep.
But you started to see more EU teams reach into that bag of tricks and grab their conquerors to help burn down Kremlins, for example.
Hmm.
And again, we've seen a handful of conquerors along the way, but they haven't been super prevalent in the NA bracket.
Hmm. I mean, the way Bonks is employing them, both a Conqueror and a Goliath, both really good HE spamming super heal ships that can just kite away. And they're doing exactly what you'd expect them to do, right? They're sitting there and they're just basically daring '07 to push at them. And I think that can work for them. They don't need to worry about trying to hold the cap or whatever, because their teammates at Box are doing a great job. They're already on a kill, and they're already in a point advantage. They're taking up B for free right now, so there's no reason for them to do any sort of game making play that might get them killed.
Nope. Now, something else we haven't talked about yet, Zath. Boom Diata's
Hmm.
Vampire Deuce position is very aggressive here, as he is well south of the map, midpoint of the match. He's actually reversing towards pieces of Pizza's Marceau in
Yep,
smoke, and he probably
yep.
has no idea that Pieces is there.
The way he's shooting right now, no, which makes me think that Boom Diata does not have radio location, as he's shooting at Marin's Shikishima.
Pieces smelling blood in the water, I think, maybe angling in a bit, trying to see if he can sniff out the vampire, because I don't see Boom Diata's hydro running. Now, it is
It's up.
now.
It's up
There it
now.
is. Yep, they can see Pieces now briefly.
Yep. And that's going to force them all to change their focus, of course.
It does force Pieces back a bit.
I'm
Presumably,
surprised that
Boom got back here to put torpedoes down on Frice, but yep, there they go. There go
yeah.
the single conga line torps.
I'm surprised that it took so long for that I should say the pieces did not torpedo the smoke, but I think he had already planned I'm going to torpedo here, and then the
Yeah.
smoke appeared right as he was firing those torps. He probably zoomed out and said, "Damn it."
Yep. Yep. Lots of smoke laid for Addy as the Shikishima stells start to come in, but Marin's retreating
Hmm.
back to the west. I mean, it seems pretty clear to me, Zath, that if '07 is going to make inroads in this game, they're going to have to make something happen at A. Right now, they're holding the points back, right? Frice is sitting in the cap. Frice is going to manage to devoid these torpedoes. But if they want to like something decisive to occur, it's going to come at A, I think.
Well, for '07, I just don't see it right now. Not with the Shikishima with their butt facing A, not with the Moscow with their butt facing A, and a Marceau, again, butt facing A. So I don't see it. As a matter of fact, look at the mini map. they have selected Moskva and Kremlin to push into B as their answer.
So they have Ace and Peyton lining up for the push here, as the Conqueror and the Goliath have kind of been pushed back out of position where they don't have shots through the island chain to do much about this. Battleship Nagato's Harugumo, kind of the lone ship, shelling Peyton as he heads in here. Ace has got his radar. No, he and Tester bow onto each other. Ooh, somebody got a good shot at Ace. I think that was Tester.
Just got smacked a little bit there. Ace is going to be forced to bow in. And from long range, Drixus hits him.
Yep. Takes an Ohio salvo to the face. Now just a couple of good HE salvos might push Ace off the board. On fire. There he goes. Kill number 2 for Bonks.
Mm-hmm.
But for the moment, it does mean that Peyton is in the middle of flipping this cap. And it does also mean that Tester is nose to nose with a Kremlin. I don't know how excited about that he is.
I would be very excited personally. I'd be hitting full W right now. Who's gonna deal with me? Maybe the Shikishima, and that's about it.
The Shiki would have a shot if he wanted it. He'd have to look. You have to be looking that way, but he could definitely take a shot.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm personally, I'd be thinking of going full speed and using the final torpedo on him. For right now, it looks like he's content to sit there and shoot.
That would be an amazing trade for Bonks, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you know, would it be enough though? Right now, it's not enough. Tester would only do well. That's not true. Ramming multiplies some of the damage, right? It's not just straight up hull damage.
Especially the flag. Hey,
does he
Price,
look
at
Price. Ram flag. Price getting charged by Addy, I think.
Why do you come to King of Sea without a ram flag, sir?
I'm just saying. Looks like Addy's moved up and has got his hydro sniffing out Price. So the gearing,
he's permalit anyways, without even using hydro.
Oh yeah, he's proxied now. So now it's a question of whether or not he has torpedoes available. Doesn't matter. Doesn't get the chance to use them.
Wow. Now it's worth noting, Boom Diata died as well for that. Pieces of Pizza taking him out with the Marceau.
Indeed, Boom had a very aggressive position. Didn't quite get away. And now Addy's left bow on with Elgar's Moskva.
But that, I'll tell you what, that aggressive position did allow them to get shots on the Shimakaze, and it made Fries feel very uncomfortable. And you could just feel that uncomfortableness as he's kind of jockeying back and forth, ultimately coming in front of Addy, spraying, hoping to get those torpedoes off. Didn't happen. But that's all because that Vampire Deuce was in that position.
Well, for the moment, 07 is capping B. They're going to run out of resets. They're continuing to reset Peyton. In fact, Peyton, now we haven't looked at him in a while, getting very low, down around 10,000 HP, burning in, healing.
Conqueror's doing Conqueror
AP
things.
salvo coming in, not really getting anything out of it.
Nope. I'm looking at Elgar too. Elgar has some torpedoes coming in on him.
There we go. 07 does finally bag Admiral Tester. 7 minutes to play. 07 now only 50 points behind as they are ticking up B and C.
Gonna get Addy. They got Addy. There it is.
There goes Addy. There we go. 07 catches up on kills, takes their first lead of the game. We've seen them do this before. It looks bad. It looks bad, but they have 2 different ships that are heinously low, Zath. That's Elgar and Peyton. It could be 2 quick kills for Bonks if they can convert.
That's right. Our Hulk seems a little bit far off in the Goliath. You talked earlier about the Goliath's positioning, shooting into Peyton with AP shells. Unfortunately, he's so far away, he really can't make his presence as known on the battlefield.
Doofy's Goliath has an HE salvo going down on Elgar. Does it land? Doesn't look like he let it right. Ooh, no, he got something. He got something. Elgar's
radar burning, and opening up.
His heel is going out. There he goes.
There it is.
That's a big kill for Bonks. They have a ship lead again, but again, they're pushed off all the caps. 07 going full W here. Daring these guys to do something about it. And so far, they've killed things, but 07 in the lead, 6 minutes to play.
Yep, and you can see now our Hulk's Conqueror has just turned full speed going to B now.
Oh, yeah. They've given too much ground now, I think.
Exactly. Not sure about Vivi's position right there in the Ragnar. He's trying to farm Marin for free, but in the process getting secondaried. Drix is getting shot in the face.
Good hits on Drix there from Marin's Shikishima as more continue to come in from John the Ruthless's Salem, way over on the 7 line.
Yeah.
I think the failure to convert the kill on Peyton's Kremlin is really going to haunt these guys, Saf,
Oh yeah. Well, I mean,
because
it's easy, right? Just
they're
shoot the
going to
Kremlin.
lose this. They're going to lose this Ohio. Yeah, no problem. They're going to lose
Yeah.
this Ohio, I think.
Yeah. You can't just. Oh, and Battleship Nagato gets a taste of his own medicine, takes a torpedo as well.
Well, guess who else is about to take some torpedoes? Check out Marin. 2 quick
Oh
kills. They do
wow.
bag the Ohio, but Dyer bags the Shiki. The Shiki bags
Mm-hmm.
the Ragnar on the way out. What a bloodbath. But it leaves
Yep.
07 still tied on ships, but up a cap, up 200 and something points here, under 5 minutes.
This is the part where you need your Conqueror to come in
Yeah,
and
he's
just
got to be
slap
relevant.
the Salem.
He's got to be
Exactly. He's
relevant.
got to be relevant.
His guns are looking for the Salem. He knows John is over there. He's turning now.
He's looking.
He's looking, but nothing
He's
doing here.
detected. He's detected as well as shots go into Battleship Nagato's smoke. Missed.
They're fishing for the Harugumo in that smoke. They don't get anything out of it.
Yep.
Over 900 points, 07. A game they gave up a critical mistake early. Now they found their way back in. The Goliath and the Conqueror, not the fastest ships in the world.
And remember, at this close range, Salem might actually be able to. Yeah, there's the full pens. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, he's absolutely going to full pen that guy.
Oh!
Triarch gets the Harugumo. Oh,
that's going to do it right there.
That's the backbreaker, kids. 07 wins in seconds now. John's never going to give our Hulk that shot. And that's the game. 07 with an early mistake. Eagle lances Ragnar going off the board very early. BONKS building a nice early lead, but 07 doing what they do. Slow, methodical. They're allowed back into the game. They win game 1.
That's right, they do. What a game. Back and forth. Outstanding.
Probably the most kills of anything we've seen today. It feels like we've seen several games that they're all about board control. This game very much about, picking up the timely kills, taking ships off the board when you had to, and both teams getting kills, but 07 ending up on top.
Yeah, BONKS had 5 kills, 07 had 6.
Yeah, I mean,
out of 9 players, guys. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a match earlier that ended with, one team having 2 kills, the other team having none. So this is certainly more entertaining to watch. All right, well, guys, let's I'm kind of keeping an eye on things. It looks like we might be making some technical updates here in between games. I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to the studio here, and let's get Boggsy and Wisconsin. Guys, have fun talking about that one. Yikes.
Yes. I've always said that Eagle Lance might be the nicest man I've met in WoWs, and he was so nice that he literally said, "I'm going to give you guys an advantage this time.
We're gonna give you a 1-ship lead, fellas.
Yeah, we're gonna give you a lead.
So bad for you.
We're gonna give you a head start. Nice man you are. Nice man. Wow. So, guys, that kind of comeback, I feel like, is 100% what makes you like a regional champion. That's the kind of play. You have to be able to come back from a deficit like that, from a ship deficit, from a point deficit, and say, we will outplay you. And that's exactly what 07 did. Really astounding. And credit to BONKS, because they played a fantastic game. I think they got spooked.
Well, I'm gonna be honest, man. My mind was pretty blown after the very beginning of the game, where the Harugumo just fired out those little quickie torps, whatever. One of them got eaten, and then suddenly 07 had a piece off the board. I mean, how is that even possible within the first few minutes? Not to mention the fact that it was like they must have had a sub on the other team. And they just kind of echolocated him or whatever to fire out off in the distance. That was just insanity. And yet still, that's what we got to see.
Mm-hmm.
What did Maradraco say in the break? He said, "Seeing is for the weak." We don't need to see the enemy. BONKS said that's cool. We're just gonna take a shot anyway. And I think it was Vivi coming up with that kill, which was just astounding. Probably
blind shot.
Yeah, blind shot. Probably a full 10 seconds after Eagle Lance had disappeared. Really astounding. So I mean, where did it, Ascons, where do you think it fell apart for BONKS? Was it when they pulled the battleship too far away from the sea cap?
I think honestly, I think it's when, you know, when C collapsed in the way that it did and '07 just started being able to take ground and purchase, that's when it allowed them to express themselves across the map, be it to take positions and start to shove bonks back. Whoa, 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 whoa. They're starting to pull back and reposition, trying to at least clamor to some sense of safety as they're just being shoved further and further off the caps back into the water. And it came down to just a bare knuckle brawl. I mean, after losing the first piece, '07 had to be sitting there like, uh, and yet they were just by sheer force of will, they were able to slam something, hit something else, and just kind of bust against the door until it broke. And before you know it, Bonks was sitting there like, wait, where are we leading? And it's just everything's going off all at once. I think, what was it? Raptor had said this was probably the most kills out of the games we've all seen, because I think this got the most desperate of any of the games we saw. And it started out that way.
100%. I mean, at a certain point, it felt like '07 just went, you know what? We want to win. And they basically pushed Ace. They pushed It's Ace baby up to that corner, and they said he's gonna die, but he's gonna give us the time that we need to move our pieces around. That let them push all the way up through C, push the Conqueror way back, and the Goliath, which basically said, you guys are never getting C back. Nothing can get here fast enough. And that's something we saw in the matches against KSC as well, where even if '07 had, even in the situations where they might have actually, if the game had gone on 2 or 3 more minutes, they might have lost. They said, we've had this cap, we've pushed you far back enough that even if you start progressively taking caps, you can't beat us on the point tick. And that's, I mean, it was just astounding to watch them push up, make those ballsy plays, and then actually start converting kills. It was astounding, and they did a great job at it.
Yes, they did. Okay, so we're about to go into number 2, but I think it's been a little while. So we're actually entering this winner's bracket. This is the last one for today. Whoever goes into this, I believe, goes into the finals. Is that correct? They're going into the big boy brawl. I think that's how it works. Well, this is the finals for the winners bracket, but whoever wins this, I think, goes into like the finals, right?
They go into the grand final tomorrow.
Yes, the grand final is tomorrow.
So I think it would be worth looking back and seeing what the prize pool is, so that we can kind of see what these two guys are scrapping it out for. Not only is it going to be bragging rights, but it's also going to be for actual stuff. I mean, there's 5,000 doubloons for every player on the team, 5,000 steel for every player on the team, KOTS camos, which they might not be a spring sky camo, but they're really close. And then they're getting a free tier 10 camo as well, a steel that they can attach to any ship they want. And I think you had mentioned you like the shirt.
I like the shirt. I'm a mark for the shirt. I like the shirt. Yeah, I mean, it's nice to see something physical. I mean, I don't know. I just like the new KOTS logo so much that I think it's cool that there's a T-shirt. I'm such a dork. But I mean, it's nothing to sneeze at. 5,000 steel, 5,000 doubloons plus a made of steel camouflage is it costs 10,000 steel, guys. That's like, that's quite a bit of playing climb battles and quite a bit of playing ranked to accumulate that much. And so these guys are fighting for those T-shirts at this point.
Well, I have to ask. So you're going to be more up on the rules than I am. Okay. How many people go through to the internationals? Is it the top 3 is what it is?
Yes, 3 teams will go on to face the winners of SEA, EU, and CIS regions. I thought I had this understood correctly. I'm now very confused. I believe these 2 are guaranteed to go to internationals, and the winner of the final winner of the losers brackets will be the third place. Will be the third team that goes to internationals. Can anybody
locked in?
Confirm that? I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't, but now I'm looking at the grand final tomorrow, and I'm going, oh gosh, I'm not sure now. So, well, we'll get that confirmed. But excuse me. In the meantime, why don't we go ahead and talk about the next map?
Yeah.
Great.
Definitely do that.
We'll have that pulled up here in just a moment. Thank you very much. Well, this was Islands of Ice. This is what we just played on. I think the next one is Northern Waters. There we go.
There we go.
Thank you. So please, by all means, go ahead.
So we saw some interesting play on Northern Waters before. I think doing the intro, kind of talking about the map, one of the things that was mentioned is the Bravo cap ends up being a DD butt wiggle dance. You know, it's two DDs just kind of looking at each other, doing a little bit of wiggle. I'm spotted, and then they run away and they come back. Oh, I'm spotted. The other one runs away. However, a team that's willing to commit a cruiser to one of those central islands, which is on, I believe that's the 6 line. If as soon as they put a cruiser there, they've got some radar pressure, maybe they have the ability to hold that cap and let the DD float away. Let the DD go over and help A, come in and torp from different angles. Go over and help C, come in and get guns and vision, spotting, torps, etc. from different angles. I would really like to see one or even both of these try to put up the sacrificial Moskva, put the offering to the gods of BCAP on one of those islands so that it can sit there and, have kind of a chill time for a good period, because the A and the C teams or caps are so hard to break that I really think you have to just kind of bolster B so that have that done. And rather than trying to break it with cruiser pressure, having torp angles, I think, is going to be the better play.
Well, and what will really be spicy to see is whether or not a pair of Ragnars haunts the inner circle of the B cap there, as we did see that in the SCCC versus Beach matchup, where a pair of Ragnar were extremely powerful early on there. So we'll have to see whether either of these teams brings a Ragnar to this matchup and what they do with it. I have to confess, I did not think Ragnar was going to be good in competitive. Now, it could be that because the Kleber was banned. See, I always thought, why would you bring a Ragnar in competitive when there's Kleber? Since Kleber got banned, it could be people just went, well, this is the next best thing we have, and it functionally does the same thing, which was long range, quick shells for a destroyer, HE spammer with plenty of HP to go around. Mm-hmm. It seems as though it has made its presence felt in this tournament, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I believe so. Now, I'm going to ask a quick question to our camera off screen. Are we ready to be able to cut into the match? Because it looks like the players are ready. And that's to you, Mara Draco. He's off screen doing cool tech stuff, tickety and all that. Okay. Well, I'm going to let the players know that we are good to go. So we might just be getting that stream, but we're still going to be able to see the game. So,
see Raptor stream.
It was Raptors, sorry, RAR.
That's okay. Yeah. So another thing to note on this map will be once a team has taken C cap, it's much easier for them to then take and hold B cap because of the way those islands sort of jut into the B cap. There is automatically some approaching cover. We did see 07 use that to great effect versus KSC, I think, in the second match. I'm not sure. So we'll have to see if 07 or BONKS can... we'll see if 07 does the same thing and whether BONKS was paying attention or not and doing their research.
Well, I mean, as far as it's come down to, not only has BONKS been like a final contender in the last KOTS, but yeah, being able to see this match toward the end of the day as opposed to the beginning of the game, you know that they're going to have that information. At least nobody at this level is going to just let that one slide. But great news, everybody. So we're going to be going into Game 2, 07 versus BONKS. It is starting up now. So let's kick it over to our casting duo.